So in this decade, it seems that web developers might actually turn this conventional wisdom on its head. And what if instead of talking about serving HTML and then upgrading it, what if you think the other way? Instead of thinking of the server coming up with all the resources and rendering them and sending them over to the client and then giving the client a way to like enhance it. What if we started with the client and you can think of a local bundle of HTML, CSS, JavaScript as like living in just a folder, just a bunch of static files. And those would be rendered in the browser. And then what would happen is the files contain JavaScript, and then the JavaScript would actually go and fetch whatever it needs from the server. It makes the client actually almost like the old way, the applications that you used to buy in the store and install on your computer. That's what it is like. And so the JavaScript is the active part, the CSS is the presentation part, and the HTML is basically the structure of your screens. Okay, so if you think of it that way, what happens? Well, essentially it's the same as before. You've got this, but now you can sort of think in terms of local applications, like you're building, something that's going to run on someone's computer. And of course, you need to detect features. Can you, for example, pull data using WebRTC? Notice that WebRTC is peer-to-peer. So a lot of the time, it's completely different than pulling things from a server. And that opens up a lot of interesting things as applications don't even need servers. They can just load up on people's computers and connect with one another, where they might remember each other's addresses or look them up in a sort of directory, like with BitTorrent, for example. So there's Modernizer. There's all these things that allow you to essentially detect browser features in your browser. And these are just two examples. I'm sure if you're a front-end developer, you are familiar with the constant shift in how browsers support new features. So just two new features that I know of are, for example, payment request. That now every browser you can use payments right in the browser. You don't have to save credit cards. No PCI compliance necessarily is needed because there's all this infrastructure that works with Apple, works with Google, and so on. Other ones include WebRTC, which is always getting better and can now encode video and so on. It's what Microsoft Teams uses, actually, as well in some of its web-based clients.